First of all, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, happy Monday. I hope everybody is doing good this morning. I want to talk about something that needs to be addressed when it comes to these Country Wayne panels because it needs to be addressed. The one thing that I'm absolutely not going to do in any way, shape, form, or fashion is number one, be disrespected. Number two, I'm not going to let nobody sit up here and try to overtalk me or make me feel less than what I am and think that my thoughts, opinions, and feelings do not matter. I'm going to start there. Last night, something happened last night, again, with the same individual I spoke on. And this video is not about this individual, it is about me. The one thing that I always do when I go on people's panels is try to be respectful. I understand that everybody, when it comes to these Country Wayne skits, have their own thoughts. And I could say I disagree, not because they're wrong, but because I may see it a completely different way. I may have listened to what they said, did my own research while they're talking, and realizing that there's another side of it the person may not have looked at. But not in any way am I going to say somebody's wrong because I don't believe in the same thing they believe in. If anything, I want to hear their point of view because, for one, I want to know mentally how they got to that point of view. Was it personal experience? Was it research? Or is it just their opinion and how they feel about it? But I'm never going to overtalk somebody, or I'm never going to sit up here and blatantly try to embarrass somebody like this individual tried to do to me for a second time. I don't have a problem with anybody. I'm not that type of person. But you have one time to disrespect me, and I will not have another conversation with you at all. You got one time to come at me crazy, and I will not have a conversation with you at all. You have one time to do something negative to me in any capacity, and I will not have a conversation with you at all. So when I went on a friend of mine's platform, she was there. The person was there. But she had got off for some reason. So I got on there. She came back. I didn't say nothing. She came back. I didn't say anything. And so instead of her speaking to me, she didn't even speak. Didn't even say two words to me. And then when a friend of mine was asking everybody's thoughts on Tamara and Wayne, I said it reminds me of Boomerang. And I explained why I said what I said. And so she went around the room, asked everybody their thoughts, and the person said what they said, but it was what they said. She said, I agree with everybody except, but she didn't say my name. That was strike one for me. Number two, when somebody was in a chat room talking about Tamara and Wayne allegedly dating, because there was a picture that Tamara posted of them together, she said they weren't dating. And I said, well, based on what reference? Because when you say I know for a fact, then that means that you're saying that you're certain. And the one thing I don't do is say I'm certain or I know for a fact unless I can pull receipts showing that it's true. Because the one thing people can do is turn around and contradict you. And then you look stupid. So I said, what is your reference? So she said what her reference was, and that was it. But it was the way she said it. And that was strike three for me. And I said, do you have an issue with me for some reason? And I said, because if I feel like you do, I said, and I explained the last time we were on somebody else's platform how and what she did. And the thing about it is sometimes, I do take the time to listen to what people say. And she was trying to say, I don't have an issue with you. I said, yes, you do, because every time you come around me, you're being condescending towards me. And so when everybody was talking, I kept getting irritated because, my chest was my heart rate was expanding because I'm not somebody that normally gets upset. And when I do, I start having, start shaking, and, that's how I get when I'm upset. I start shaking, literally, like I'm having seizures. So I was like, it was just like what she was saying was still being condescending to me. And it was like, you're trying to insult my intelligence when I know you don't like me. And my thing is, I understand that you don't like my point of view, but at the same time, you still downright disrespected me. You still kept trying to overtalk me because the way she came up on the other person's platform, it was aggressive. It was like you were trying to embarrass me. It was like you were trying to make me seem like I was stupid, and I was not. But like I told her, you didn't even give me a chance to speak. You kept over talking me. I kept saying, you're not going to let me speak. You're not going to let me speak. I said, because if you were about understanding, then you would have let me speak without interrupting me. And the issue was she was still trying to interrupt me. And that's the issue I have. Sometimes when somebody is telling you how they feel, it is not about being combative. It's about how they feel. And it's about taking that in and saying, you know what? I'm sorry. The reason I mentioned it was because I am not somebody I'm not two-faced. I will say to your face what I said behind your back. But you got one time to come at me crazy. And like I told her, the way you speak to people is condescending. The way you speak to people, it's more so about being right than it is about being understanding. And I told her, I said, I'm the type of person, I look at everything. I don't look at these country Wayne skits from one perspective. Just like I don't look at Amber and Shayla in one perspective. I look at them as a whole. I look at situations as a whole. Not just when you get married. No, I look at from when they met all the way up to now. What happened in that relationship? Because that is what a therapist and that is what a coach does. And like I told her, the fact that you're still trying to justify it is what's more insulting. Because here's the thing. If I don't agree with somebody, I will hear them out. I'm not going to cut them out. I'm not going to do none of that. Because the whole point to me of a conversation is not about right or wrong. It is about understanding. It is about both of us expressing our points of view and then understanding where the other person is coming from and where they got the whole entire, that idea in the first place. Because then when I add to it, I'm only looking at it from a different perspective. But either way it go, if you have two people that have two different points of view, it still can lead to a positive solution, even if y'all think differently. And not only that, that person may come to you later on and say, you know what? I see why you said what you said. Now I understand it. So like I said, you can't downplay people's personal experiences or whatever their knowledge, their intellect, or education is, because you can't. And that is the whole point of this. It's about the fact that when people are on panels, not everybody thinks the same. There are people that look at things across the board, and there are people that look at things one-sided. But the point is, everybody may go through the same situation and may have dealt with it differently. But neither one of them are wrong. It's just different. And that's something that I think we all need to understand about these country Wayne skits. We all are different. And we have every right to express them in the way we choose.